Hey, everybody. So this is a little bit different. You are used to seeing me on my Rantings of Danny page and this page too, but you're normally used to seeing me do my broadcast, just regular kind of advocacy, activism, informational stuff. And tonight is a little bit different. I'm going to be bringing to you some coaching things. So let me share this on my personal page, and then we will get right to it. So let me see. Um, Speak when you get in here. uh, Unstuck and move forward. All right, let's see who I got in here. Hey, Mookie, what's up, hon? How are you? Hey, Tammy, how are you? I'm going to leave this propped up so I can see for a minute. So, this is always the conundrum because when I go live on my personal page, I can't see your comments. So I'm having to go live on the other page where I don't post as much, and just share it and trust that who's ever meant to see it will see it. Hey, what's up, Teresa? How are you? I'm gonna kind of dive right in and talk about some things. So I know Tammy, and Teresa, that I'm a certified life coach. Um, some of you all know. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Hey, Jessica. And so some of you also know that I developed a deck, a daily guidance deck, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what those things are, why I've made it, how you can use it, and kind of what it means for me. Now, it's funny because as in your face as my advocacy work is, as in your face as my activism work is, this work is a little more vulnerable for me. It is a little more, I don't want to say that it's more important because it's not that it's more important, but what this does is something different. It allows you to be able to kind of cut through the noise and the chatter that's out there in this world and really figure out what's best for you and how to move forward. So I will give you a little bit of background about me that you may or may not know. So I was raised traditional from a religious perspective. I was raised traditional religious Southern Baptist Christian, right? And neck deep in church all my life, and found that one of the things that was challenging for me was I would go to church, I would feel all warm and fuzzy because the choir would be singing, right? The soloist would be doing it, the choir director would have us going, and there'd be this great sermon. My pastor as a kid was W.A. Johnson from Lee Street Baptist Church. And, Rev could preach a good sermon and it all sounded good and it all made you feel good. And what I found that was missing for me was practical application. So, what do I use and do? What are some tools for my very human experience? And I know people say, okay, well, just have faith. Well, how do you have faith? How do you cultivate faith? How do you practice walking in faith? Right? Because just saying it sometimes is not enough. We're human beings. Am I making sense to anybody, or am I just talking to hear myself talk? But this was like, it was a challenge for me because, like, I always use this one as an example, but, growing up and hearing the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? And saying, oh, don't worry, when you walk through the fire, God's got you. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to come out unscathed. It sounds good, but how do you actually do it? Because if y'all remember when Peter was walking on water, he looked down. And here's my thing, if Peter looked down and Jesus was standing right in front of him, what happens to the rest of us when there's no like real figure in front of us? Does that make sense? So for me, complete sense. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And let me tell y'all, this journey was a little different because when I kind of felt bad too, because I don't know if this makes sense, but when I realized that my upbringing and my faith was lacking, that it wasn't giving me everything that I needed, I felt a little guilty. I felt shameful. I felt like, oh my God, I'm going to hell in a handbasket, right? I'm going to the fiery furnace. Hellbound I am. And it has taken a long time to navigate that space and really become comfortable with who I am, what I believe in, how things work. So in a lot of different spiritual practices, people use cards or messages. So like even in there used to be, I don't know if there still is or not, but on if you're on the Bluntville Highway and you're going to Johnson City from Bristol, right? Y'all know on the left hand side of the road where that big gas station is and that car wash is, and there's those like that little shopping center that's back there. There used to be a Bible bookstore back there, and my ex husband and I used to go in it all the time when we lived there. And I bought these like a little your little daily bread books that you get, or your daily devotional books that you get, your daily scriptures, and they were words that sounded good, but I wanted practical application. So while I was sitting outside of Holston Valley Medical Center, I was doing these drawings. As you guys know, I draw and I paint, and they ended up turning into this guidebook. And what I wanted to do with this guidebook was not just give words, but also give some tools from a coaching perspective. What are some actual things you can do that reinforce the lesson that you're getting or the guidance that you're getting from the deck? And then how do you ask the right questions to get moving forward? So let me be clear about what the deck is not. The deck is not, it's not like a prophecy or a psychic book. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't know what's happening 3 months from now for you. But what the deck is, so this is my core belief. My core belief says that all of us have God in us, whoever God is for you. So whether you call God, the universe, your sixth sense, your intuition, your gut, your instinct, whatever you call it, I'm not here to debate what you call your inner wisdom. That's not what I'm here to do. But I believe that we all have that inner wisdom. It's that nudge that we get. It's that little like tap on your shoulder. It's that guidance that you get. And what I found is that as we get older, we don't trust it as much. When we're kids, we trust it 100%. You ever tried to get your child to hug the one auntie or the one uncle, and they're looking at you like, because their gut, they are perfectly aligned with that inner wisdom. And they're like, yeah, no, thank you. I'd rather not. Right. But as we get older, we lose touch with our inner perfection, because I believe that we are created perfectly. But we begin to doubt that perfection because we look to the people around us to tell us who we are. And we label each other. So as parents, we have the smart child, the wild child, the responsible child, the smart child, right? As teachers, you have the class clown, you have the teacher's pet, you have the athletic child, you have all of these different labels that get applied to us as kids. And what happens as children is we naturally go, oh, that's who I am. And then we take on the behaviors that reinforce that that's who we are. So what I have found is that all of that gets very loud and confusing, this noise, and we start looking externally for guidance and direction rather than internally to our perfection. And we end up asking our best friends what we should do. We ask our pastors what we should do. We ask our husbands and our wives what we should do. Some people call up them psychics and ask them what we should do, right? But we tend to not go within. And when we hear, how about this? When we hear internally what we should be doing or what's for our highest and best good, oftentimes we don't listen. We doubt it because it's coming from us. And if it's coming from us, then is that just us taking that way? Like, well, if I want it, it must not be the thing I'm supposed to do. Do you ever get that feeling? So what I did with this deck was I combined a practical tool that allows you to tap into your inner wisdom and some really great coaching techniques to help you get unstuck, to help you get some direction, to help you get some guidance so that you can actually go through life powerfully trusting your step, even if you don't know the outcome. So is everybody following me so far? Are you with me on that regard? Because like some people ask me, how did I just pack up and leave Atlanta and move back to Tennessee in order to do the protest? I can promise you this, it is not because my heart's desire was to go back to Bristol or to Kingsport. Like there was nothing in me that said, give up my studio apartment in Atlanta and go back to Tennessee. That's not what I wanted to do. I knew it's what I was supposed to do, though. I knew it as sure as I'm sitting here in front of you right now. I knew it, right? You're stuck, Earlene? All right, great. We're going to work through that. And so, what this does is it allows you to find your ways to get unstuck and move forward. And I'm going to give different people opportunities. If you want me to work with you and do some on the spot coaching, I'm going to pop the link in here in a second. Before I do that and bring you up here, I want to show you how the deck works. Okay. Is that cool? So first, let me show you. I have my deck that I use daily out beside me, but I want to show you the box and everything that the deck comes in. So this is called the Connect deck. Everything in this deck I created. So I drew it and then made the graphics. The reason I named it the Connect deck is because I really do believe, and y'all will just have to like give me a little bit of grace if I get a little emotional, because I'm just real open today. I can't really explain it, but I am. And I really believe what I'm telling you. Um, yeah. So I really believe that connection is the cure for everything that ails us. I believe that the more connected we are to our inner wisdom or that perfection that's in us, the more the more connected we are to ourselves, right? And the more connected we are to each other, the better we're going to be in this world. I really do believe that. I believe that the more connected we are, the more likely we are to be tolerant of each other, to be kind, to be patient, to be compassionate, to be respectful. The less connected we are, the more hateful we will be, the more disrespectful, the less tolerant, the more fearful we will be. And so it's called the Connect deck because the idea with this deck is to help you get more connected to the God inside you or your inner wisdom. Okay. And so when you open the box up, it says daily guidance and mindfulness, right? Divine wisdom and practical application. Because to me, it's great if it's divine wisdom, but I need practical application. I need a tool because here's the thing. Even though you hear people say we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are. So I need physical 3D tools to use in my humanness to help my spiritual being operate at its highest, if that makes sense. Okay. So when you open the deck up, like the cards come, I don't know if you can see, they have a little plastic thing that's, yeah, you can see it. It's around the cards, right? And then there's a guidebook that comes with it. Okay. Each of the guidebooks has a picture of the card, the words that's on the card, then it has a little further explanation. And then it has a practical application, like an actual coaching technique for you to use to put it into practice. It has an example affirmation, and then either it will list some stones, some plants, or some oils that help, right? Because I think that we have there's energy in everything, and it helps us out. Okay, so I'm going to show you two parts to this, okay? And then I'm going to open it up and do some mini free coaching sessions and coaching work with you guys so you can get to see what I do. So first things first, when I have my deck in the morning, I always ask one word and one more. I only ask one thing and one thing only. I ask, what do I need to know today that's for my highest good? Because that's what I want to know. What do I need to know today that's for my absolute highest good? And then I'll shuffle the deck, right? And then typically a card will kind of pop itself out, or I'll get a nudge to stop shuffling, right? So whichever one happens first. And once I, so see, one just popped out at me. And so this one is the True Treasure card. Let me see. Okay, that you can see it better. And you can see it says, it's time for you to find balance in your pursuit of material wealth and finances. What you chase runs, and all that glitters isn't gold, right? So when I open the actual book, well, before I do that, yeah, Mindy, real rude of Facebook not to send you a notification. I'm live. Okay, so when I do that, this is the first thing I ask myself. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I read this card? What person, what relationship, what situation or circumstances immediately pop into my thoughts as I'm reading the words on the card? Because again, this is about you getting connected to your inner wisdom. So as soon as I saw this, I immediately thought I have been concerned about different streams of income and how to make money, because like I used to do internet marketing for a long time, and I'm good at it, but I don't love it. Right? I'm good at it, but I don't love it. And the things that I love to do, I almost feel guilty about monetizing. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody, but I love doing coaching work. And I mean, I love it. I love advocating with people. I love all of that. Right. And at the same time, I go, oh, how do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you put a dollar amount on it? So, part of me, I've had to resist the temptation to go back to doing things I know that God for me doesn't want me to do right now. Like I'm being forced to sit, and immediately along with it, see, as I'm talking, here it comes. It's the stress of raising the money for the rest of the talk show, right? Um, because there's a part of me that has to believe that I'm worthy of a talk show, right? Because obviously somebody thought that I am because they offered me their resources to make it happen. And but I have to sit with that. And then, being able to say, okay, well, I can't do it on my own, blah, blah, blah. So these are the things that come up. So that's question number one. So when you use the deck and you get your card, the first question you ask as you're reading is, notice what comes up for you. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you're reading the card? Because that's most likely what this is about. This is just a confirmation of what, your wisdom's been trying to tell you for the last little bit, right? Jody, I have to get with the studio and ask. I'm not sure. I honestly, like, today I really don't know. I know that a week ago we'd raised like $3,000 or so. I don't know this week. I haven't been in touch. They had some projects going on, so I don't know. But that's question number one, right? So then question number two, what does this card confirm that I already knew or thought before? And what has my gut been trying to tell me? So when I go to the guidebook, this is what it says. It says, money is simply another form of energy. While it is necessary to live and pay your bills, it is not the source of your provision. When you draw this card, it is an indication that your relationship to money is out of alignment. Whether you are using it as primary motivation in your choices, whether you're using it as a measurement of success or prioritizing it over the true treasures in life, this card indicates an imbalance. Material and financial wealth flow into your life more freely as a byproduct of service to others. It is enhanced by the presence of self-love and an uncompromising commitment to self-worth. Place your focus there and watch what you seek find you. And then here's the putting it into practice part. It says, begin to examine your core beliefs around money. Challenge any belief that doesn't serve your highest good. Money is not evil. It is not the root of all evil, right? The same space is found when you believe large sums of money are sinful. Money is a reflection of its owner. Make a list of your beliefs around money. Write them from a place of power and receptivity. And then it gives an affirmation, which is an example is, I am wealthy. I have abundance of all kinds. Money comes to me freely. And then it gives like plants for wealth, essential oils, and stones for wealth and abundance. So that's the way the card works, right? And so then question 3 that you ask yourself is, how can I make the most of this guidance in this direction? What do I need to do or change in order to best put this guidance into action? So for me, what do I need to do? It's definitely start promoting myself and the things that I do more. So like my coaching stuff is dope, right? And it works. When you work the program works, right? So, what I need to do to make the most of this guidance is to promote my coaching programs more, to push Get Your Life, to be shameless in my, see, and as I'm saying this, my hands are tingling. I need to be shameless and bold, just like you see, the Tony Robbins of this world and the Yana Van Zants of this world. And it can't find me if I'm not asking for it, right? People can't become clients if I'm not open for that, right? So those are the three things. Do I find it do I find it difficult to tell people how wonderful you are? Of course. Uh, um, I used to not be able to take compliments at all, Jody. My default used to be when someone would try to compliment me would be to deflect. If someone said, "Oh, well, you really look amazing," I don't know. Well, I still have a lot of room. I have this to fix. I have that to fix. So I used to not be able to take compliments at all. When I first started journaling, this is several years ago. When I first started journaling, I made myself buy a journal that the front of the journal said "Hello, beautiful," because I had a hard time being called beautiful. You could call me pretty, you could call me cute, you could call me sexy, even, right? But beautiful had a different connotation to me. And so, beautiful to me meant this very pure, loving, um, beauty is different than being pretty to me, right? And so, when I first started journaling, I made myself buy a journal so that every morning when I would pick it up to write in it, I would be greeted by the words, "Hello, beautiful," so that I would get used to seeing that word. Um, and I think for me, I know that I do things that other people don't do. And I still don't, to me, it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything exceptional. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah. So that's how I use my deck every day, right? When I want to get unstuck, when I want some guidance, when I feel kind of unsure about, what I need to be focusing on or where I am in life, that's how I use the deck. I ask, what do I need to know today that is for my highest good? I shuffle the deck. When I get the card, I pay attention to the very first thing that comes to my mind as I'm reading the card, right? As I'm reading the guidebook, I ask myself, what is this confirming for me that I already know, right? What has my gut been trying to tell me? And then the third thing is, how do I make the most of this? And that's doing the practical application piece, right? So that's how I use it. Now, when it comes to coaching, it's similar. So now I have a question for you guys. Is there anybody that wants to join me on the live or put in the comments an area that you are stuck with or that you want help coaching with? The reason why I offer to let you come up here is sometimes it's faster if we're talking, right? But if you don't want to come on camera and you just want to type in the comments, then we're going to do just some mini coaching sessions. I'm going to use the deck and ask you some questions and see if we can't get some resolution and some clarity for you. So I know, Arlene, you said you were stuck. Do you want to share where you're stuck at, or do you want to come on the live? This is the part where people are like, really? Yeah, yeah. Because here's the thing: all of us have areas where we're stuck. All of us have areas where we feel ashamed. All of us have areas where we're not sure what to do next. And I think that the more vulnerable and the more transparent we are with each other, the better off we are going to be. And the more likely we are to kind of pull things together and do things together. So, y'all got real quiet on me. Y'all got real quiet. Anybody? Anybody game? You're stuck inside your own head. Okay, so when you say stuck inside your own head, tell me what that means. So be specific. So, are you trying to make a decision around a relationship, a job, even yourself, like what to do next, where to go? Um, because it might be helpful if I walk you through my coaching method too. So the very step, so along with my deck, which is called the Connect deck, right? Along with the deck, I have a coaching method called the Connect method, labeling from yourself and others. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through this method and see if this makes sense. And you don't have to type all your answers in here, but because they may be personal. But when what I'm saying makes sense, just say yes and let me know if you've got it. Okay. So when we look at the Connect method, it is 7 steps to get unstuck in a particular area. So the first C in the word connect is for clarity. You're involved heavily in network marketing. Okay. So getting clear on the issue is the very, very first step. Okay. So you can't be ambiguous if you want to get unstuck. What is it that's causing the issue? What is the core root? You have to get clear about what it is that's got you hindered. So you're in network marketing. What's the confusion around it? Is it something that you don't love to do? Is it something that you do want to do? Is it something that you think keeps you pinned in a particular box and you don't like it? Are there certain expectations, that you have in that role, that you have of yourself and other people have of you? What's the issue? What's got you stuck? And as it relates to network marketing, get clear on the issue. That's step 1. And you all can actually all be working through whatever it is. Is anybody else got an issue right now that you're thinking of as I'm talking to Earlene? Anybody else got an issue? Don't be shy. My chest hurts today. Which reminds me. Expectations. Okay, great. So let's ask this first question. So if the issue is expectations, are they unrealistic expectations? And are they expectations that you agreed to, forgiving yourself? Okay, so that's a good one. So Lisa, when we talk about forgiving yourself, getting clear on the issue, where do you think the unforgiveness stems from? So what's the core, what's the root? What is your core belief that makes it difficult for you to forgive yourself? Arlene, what's the core belief that you have that allows you to take on these expectations or place them on yourself? So is your core belief that I'm only as valuable and worthy as what I do? So a lot of times expectations has to do with performance or earning worthiness. So what is your core belief around your worthiness and these expectations? Will people only love you if you do the thing that they want you to do? Will people only be with you if you do the thing they expect you to do, right? Perfectionism. So perfectionism, is that a realistic or unrealistic expectation of yourself, Lisa? And what is perfectionism, as a matter of fact? So what happens is, so let me just explain, let me give you all a little tidbit. When we talk about, there are certain themes and schemes that run in our life, okay? And earning worthiness, perfect. So see how we're drilling down and we're getting to the core. We're getting clear on the issue. Because when we first started this conversation, Arlene, what you said is, I'm stuck in my own head. And what we're drilling down to is, nope, you have a core belief that you have to earn worthiness. See the difference between the two? So this is why when you use this method and you drill down, you get to the root core. Because if not, you're just dealing with the surface and you're not getting to the root issue. So Lisa, so learning that you're not perfect and that is okay. So by saying you are or you aren't perfect, are you judging yourself? Is that coming from your inner judge? Because what is perfectionism really and truly? Right? So when you say learning that I'm not perfect and it's okay, so would you say that that is um, learning to accept myself exactly as I am, and that as I am worthy of being loved and accepted, just like I am, right? So, what is your belief about like having to be perfect or making mistakes? What does it say about you that you make mistakes or you're not perfect? What do you believe about that? Got it. Perfect. Okay. So now we've done the first C. The first C is getting clear on the issue, right? The O in connect is about owning where you are and what you have going on. Okay. So you have to take ownership of everything that is in your life, because everything that is present, you co created. Whether it was from a place of intention and conscience or whether it was from your subconscious, you co created everything that is in your life right now. Now, I have a belief that says everything that's in your life is working for your highest good, even the things that are uncomfortable, even the things that seem to be like unpleasant or harmful or whatever, they have to be working for your ultimate highest good. Okay. So, Erlene, you cultivated, just follow this thought process. You have a core belief that you have to earn worthiness. What better way to reinforce that core belief than to be heavily involved in network marketing, where earning and networking is the ultimate measure of success? Do you see how you created and cultivated an environment that directly hones in on this core belief that you have? Tell me if you're following me. Yeah. So even and isn't it crazy how we do that? So it's like your higher self, your divine self knows that having this belief around earning worthiness isn't good for you. So it allows you to create this life of heavy network marketing so that you get stuck in your brain because it's causing you conflict so that you can get out, right? Lisa, ownership. How do you take ownership of this perfectionism? What do you get out of it? This is so whenever you need to take ownership, you have to ask yourself this question: what am I getting out of this? Because you're getting something out of it. There's some benefit that you get, whether you realize it or not. And you'll be like, I don't get any benefit. It makes me feel horrible. Yeah, but does it make you look good to other people? Do you get to be the rescuer? Do you get to be the fixer? Do you get to be the successful one? Do you get to be the popular one? Do you get to be the sacrificial lamb? Do you get to be the martyr? Like, what do you get out of it? Do you get to look good? Does everybody go, oh my gosh, she's always so giving. She always does this. What do you get? Or what do you get to avoid? That's the question around ownership. Ownership is, what am I getting out of this story that I've got around worthiness? You're the fixer. Awesome. So, do y'all see where we're getting? So, you have to ask yourself, what am I getting, or what do I get to avoid by believing this? So, Lisa, by believing that you should be perfect and you're not perfect, do you get to avoid living to your fullest potential because you're not perfect enough? Do you get to avoid living your dreams and pursuing the things because you're not perfect? Erlene, earning worthiness. Do you get to avoid having to cultivate self love like on your own? And do you get people always around you because you're earning worthiness? What are you getting? Type for me in the comments what you are getting or what you are avoiding by either being the fixer and having perfectionism present or believing that you need to earn worthiness. What are you getting or what are you getting to avoid? You guys are doing good work too up here on Facebook with me. It's a vulnerable place to be. I can tell you. What do you think you're getting, ladies? Hi. Good girl, Lisa. Yep, you get to look good. People look up to you. How about that? Is that a revelation? Yep, other people look up to me. I had a guy friend of mine who was also a client at the time. He kept dating women that would cheat on him, and they were just they didn't know they didn't have any self love and self worth. And I said, "What are you getting out of what do you get about what are you getting? Um, what are you getting out of dating this woman?" He was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, you get to be the good guy, don't you? You get to be the good guy that tolerates and puts up with all of this mistreatment and this abuse, and these cheating women, but you get to be the good guy." That's what he was getting, right? Jody, you're the peacemaker. You avoid conflict like the plague. Okay, so hold on. So frustrated blinds my vision. Avoid. Okay, so Erlene, let's take just a step back. So you believe that you have to earn worthiness, right? So if you are so busy working to earn worthiness, do you get to avoid generating natural, unconditional self love? Because if you're so busy earning worthiness, right, then you don't ever have to stop and just be with yourself and learn how to love you without the earning. Does that make sense? So, Jody, question, right? You say, I've always been the peacemaker. I avoid conflict like the plague. What do you get out of that? What's your core belief that's driving that? Because that's a story, my dear. That is a story and a belief that is running things for you. And so you have to ask yourself, where does that stem from? So we've gone from getting clear on the issue to taking ownership of the issue, right? And you take ownership by asking yourself, what do I get out of this? Or what do I get to avoid? And now we're at the first in the word connect, okay? So the first N is to take notice of your baggage and what's in it. So as we go throughout life, we all have baggage. All of us. We have literal baggage and we have figurative baggage that we take with us everywhere we go. Now, I want to give you a literal example of baggage. So, if I'm going to the beach or if I'm going to the ski resort, there are certain things I am packing in my bags every single time, right? I'm packing my toothbrush, I'm packing my deodorant, I'm packing my underwear, I'm packing like those are essentials. Well, in our emotional baggage, there are certain things we take with us everywhere we go into every situation, right? Sometimes we take our past traumas, our hurts, our disappointments. We take our walls, right? Where we have our walls up, we take our distrust. We take a lot of these things with us everywhere we go. So, as you're thinking about the situation that you have right now in front of you, you need to take note of what baggage, what things in your bag are running your story. Right. So, Lisa, question: where does the desire to feel needed come from? What's driving it? You get to avoid your own issues because you work on everybody else's. And at the same time, they all look up to you. And that makes you feel what? So, I'll give you an example of taking note of what's in your bags. So let's just say that I'm working through something with a relationship, and I'm noticing that I am getting triggered and behaving in arguments or situations with the new guy the same way that I did with the last 3 or 4 guys, right? I'm defensive or I'm sensitive or I'm whatever, the same way that I used to be with those other people. So when I take a look at my bags that I've carried into this relationship, I have to take note of what's in my bag. So if what's in my bag is having my guard up so that I don't get hurt, if what's in my bag is having anger readily available so I don't have to be vulnerable, if what's in my bag, right, is, hey, I can quit, I can leave, I can ghost you, right? If I need to take note of what's in my bag, and then I have to ask myself this question: is this necessary? Do I need this with this person? Do I need this for myself? Or do I have other skill sets? Do I have other ways of coping and dealing that I can use rather than this? Right? So, Erlene, in your network marketing and in your desire to earn worthiness, right? What shows up for you? What do you bring into all of those meetings and all of those situations and those relationships? What do you bring? Do you bring assertiveness? Do you bring a straight cut to the choice and I'm the leader? And what do you bring into all of those? And are they truly who you desire to be? Do you need them? So let me give you an example. I used to live by the motto, you get from me what you give to me. Okay. And I brought that with me into every situation because it allowed me to create distance between me and other people. And before they could hurt me, right? I knew I could hurt them bad enough to make them go away. You get from me what you give to me. So if you give me hurt and pain, I'm going to give it back to you double fold. I'm not going to feel bad about it because I told you that's what was going to happen. And I can cut you off so that I can survive the pain that you may cause me. And that I used to pack that in every one of my bags. I used to pack that in my bag on every trip that I had. Every personal relationship that I had, I would pack, you get from me what you give to me in my bag. Silence mainly equals distance. Right. So when you get into these situations and these scenarios and these relationships, you have to ask yourself, do I need to pack silence as a weapon in this bag? Do I need to pack earning worthiness in this bag? Do I need to pack fixer in this bag? If I want to get unstuck, are these things necessary? Because that's the second N, right? So you take the first N in the word connect is taking note of what's in your baggage that you're lugging around. That stuff that you're carrying that is so damn heavy that you're stuck. Open it up and look at what you're carrying with you and ask yourself, is it necessary for you to use this anymore? Do you need silence as a weapon anymore? Do you need to earn worthiness anymore? Or are you ready to let that go and discover new ways of feeling worthy? So Lisa, do you need, is it necessary for you to always be a step above in order to feel equal. Right? And so then once you figure out what is necessary and what isn't necessary, right? New ways, awesome. That's perfect. So, like, hey, I don't have to earn worthiness anymore. I'm going to develop new ways of being. And so now you have to kind of think, okay, so how do I do that? Okay. So we've gone through CONN. Now we're going to go to E. So, in order to develop new ways, once we know what's necessary, right, and what isn't necessary, we have to make sure that we're operating from a place of emotional intelligence and not emotional trauma or emotional attachment. Okay. So, when we look at that, some quick ways to know where you're at is by there's a great book called Positive Intelligence, where he talks about this. But check out your mindset. If the way that you're thinking and feeling right now feels like or resembles the basement of a house, so think about your basement. It's dark, it's damp, it's musty. There's all kinds of old boxes, used stuff, broken equipment, stuff that doesn't work, and there's no window, there's no light, and you can't see the streets, you can't see the roads, you can't see the possible ways out. So think about the way you're feeling in the situation and in the moment. Does it feel like a basement? Or does it feel like you're standing on a balcony where the sun is shining and you can feel the breeze on your face and you can see all the possible ways that you can travel? Do you feel possibility or do you feel stuck? So, like, if the energy and the feeling that you have reminds you of or resembles the basement, you are in emotional attachment or you are responding from a place of emotional trauma. Okay. But if you feel like you're on that balcony, right, then you are already at the space where you can operate from emotional intelligence. If you're not, you got to figure out what you got to do to get to the balcony. So, what do I need to do to release this? Basement. Awesome. Nothing wrong with the basement. Erlene, let me tell you, sometimes I get in the basement and I'll call one of my friends, Natalie. She's also a coach. And I'll call her and I'll say, listen, I'm in the basement. I know I'm in the basement. I need to sit here for just a minute. I need to sit in the basement for just a minute. Don't try to help me yet. Don't try to help me yet. I need to just sit here in the basement. And then after I've had a chance to breathe my way through it, okay, I'm ready to get to the balcony. And we start to examine what I need to do to get there. Okay. So, am I able to get to the balcony just by choice? Do I need to shift my state? There are lots of ways to do that. Sometimes just shifting your physical state will help you get out of the basement. So sometimes for me, I'll put my headphones on with music on and I'll go for a walk. Sometimes I'll go to the gym. Sometimes I'll do some breathing techniques. Sometimes I'll light a candle. So, like tonight, that's what I did. I have a candle burning right beside me. And hold on, I'll show y'all. It's my I Am Brave candle. Can you see it? I am brave. I put it right there. You don't feel like you're in the basement, but you're not on the balcony. All right, I didn't even know you were on here. You're in the basement. Okay, so let's get to the balcony, right? So one of the best ways to get to the balcony is to focus on possibility. Okay. So first of all, to even get to this place where you recognize that you're in the basement, that's doing work. Like, you all are literally doing the work right now to be able, because so many people are in the basement and don't know they're in the basement. Right? So what do you need to do to get out of the basement? How can you create possibility? So one of the quickest ways to to get possibility is to use one word. So I want each of you to do something for me. Tell me what you would like to do. So I would like to I would like to get to the balcony or feel like I'm on the balcony, but I can't because blah, 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 blah. Right. So, whatever that is, I want to stop fixing everybody and saving everybody, but um, it makes me feel good. And so I can't stop doing it. Right. I want to, what's a good one for Arlene? Erlene. I want to feel worthy without having to earn it, but I don't know how, right? I want to lose weight, but I don't like going to the gym. Tell me, what do you want to do, but you feel like you can't for some reason? Tell me what you want. What do you want to create? What do you desire and feel like it cannot happen because of something else? I want to, but this. I want to find solutions, but I don't know where to start or whatever it is. I'm going to teach you a little technique that will help you find your way out of the basement and onto the balcony. All we're going to do is create some possibilities. What's something that you want or desire? Give me an example, ladies. I don't know how helping others, but they shut me down. I want to release the need to fix the people, but I'm afraid they won't like me if I can't fix them. Whoo wee. Lisa, that's good. That is so good. So, Erlene, I'm gonna offer you something, right? Um, so service to others comes from our overflow. So follow me. If your arms are like this, okay, if you put your arms out like this in a circle, everything that's in your cup is for you. If you're in the basement, your cup is not full. And if your cup is not full, when you help somebody else, you are giving energy that you need for you. Okay? Service to others comes from your overflow, not what's in your cup. Lisa, you said, I want to release the need to fix people, but I'm afraid they won't like me if I cannot fix them. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you fix people? Aura says, I want to be able to trust people again, um, to trust that people can do the right thing when required. Great, right, Lisa, you don't really fix them, right? So that's a story. That's a story. You have a story going on that says, oh, I want to release the need to fix people, but they won't like me if I can't fix them, right? You have a story that liking you is contingent upon you fixing them. So that's not true. You have a belief that is not serving you, and that belief, you've gotten it from somewhere, probably from an emotional trauma or an emotional attachment that's happened when you were little. Aura, let me ask you this. Is trust something that is earned, or is it a choice? Is trust earned, or is it a choice? Arlene, I'm going to use your sentence. Okay. I want to help others, but they shut me down. Here's where we create possibilities. You ready? Here we go. I'm just going to change one word. Arlene's statement is, I want to help others, but they shut me down. I'm going to change your word now. You ready? I want to help others and they shut me down. Aura, your statement is, I want to trust people that they can do the right thing, but what? But what? Why can't you trust people? Lisa, I want to release the need to fix people, but I'm afraid they won't like me if I can't. I want to release the need to fix people, and I'm afraid they won't like me if I can't. You simply change the word from but to and now you've created possibilities and new ways of doing things. Right, or trust is a choice. We have this thing, we've created this story that people have to earn trust. The truth of the matter is, you only know what someone shows you about them. No one will ever be able to prove to you that they can be trusted. And even if you think you can trust them, you might not be able to because it's simply who they are, right? And you may never know. So the only thing that you can trust is your divine wisdom, your inner wisdom that we were talking about getting connected to. That's what you can trust. So follow me. Once we know that we can operate, so where do y'all feel like y'all are at now? Are you kind of at the balcony now? Do we have some possibility that we're creating? Now that we examined our stories, do we have some possibilities? Oh, I want to help people and they shut me down. So now it goes, oh, well, okay. So I want to help people and they're shutting me down. So how else can I help people? Or how can I help myself maybe instead of helping people? But when you simply replace the but with and now you have possibility and you're on the balcony, right? So instead of being in emotional attachment or emotional trauma, now we are at emotional intelligence. We have possibilities, y'all. See that? So now we're ready for the next C. Okay. And the next C is simply clearing up space. Okay. So, is there anything that you need to let go of now that you're on the balcony? Okay. So, do you need to let go of this fear about people not loving you if you don't fix them? Do you need to let go of the thought of needing to earn worthiness? So sometimes what I do, and this is a repetitive thing that you'll have to do sometimes because we have beliefs that we've stored with us from a long time ago, right? So you don't just let something go one time typically. So there's lots of different ways to do this. What I normally do is whatever I need to let go of in that moment that is not serving me, and I need to clear up space for my new possibilities, I write them down and then I'll literally burn them and watch them turn to ashes, right? So I release the fear of rejection, right? I release the fixer in me. I release, right, earning my worthiness. I make a list of what I'm clearing up space, what I'm releasing. And then just as a symbol of letting it go, I light a match and watch it go up in smoke. Okay. I'm clearing up space. I'm letting go of those thoughts and those beliefs. And sometimes the people and the baggage that doesn't serve me, I'm clearing up space. But so here's the thing. Do you really believe that people don't deserve trust? Because whose responsibility is it to determine where you place your trust? We don't get mad most of the time, ladies and gentlemen. When someone hurts us, most of the time our anger comes because we ignored the red flags that came ahead of time. It's very rare that we get our heart broken or we get shown distrust out of the blue. Nope. It's usually because we've ignored some other sign that came ahead of time and we stayed longer than we should, or we pretended like it was getting better, or we ignored what we saw happening. And we're angry because we continue to stay and to trust and to believe when we already knew better. The responsibility for how we give trust and the level of it and how we let it impact us is ours. If you have a trust hang up, it's usually indicative of a self-love and self-worth hang up. Because if I am whole and complete, all in of myself, when I love and trust externally, right? When I love and trust externally, I don't have to worry about if it's reciprocated. I don't have to worry about if that person lives up to some expectation, because even if they don't, while it might temporarily sting me, it won't destroy me. Right, because we've ignored that internal, that divine wisdom. And so that's what this whole thing is about. It is about getting connected to that internal wisdom. So when we hear it, but you didn't trust the wrong person, sweetheart, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? It's not that you trusted the wrong person. Now you know what signs to pay attention to next time. And you'll repeat that until you learn, right? You want to stop trusting the wrong person? Start listening to your signs. You want to stop getting hurt by the wrong person? Then start trusting your God instinct. Start trusting the divine wisdom in you. Because when you start trusting that, you don't got to worry about what they do. You'll know when to walk away. You'll know when to take a step back. You'll know when to set up a healthy boundary. It is never about what the other person is doing. It is only about you. Because we don't control anybody else. The only person we control is ourselves. That's it. I can't make you be faithful. I can't make you be honest. I can't make you not hurt me. I can't make you come home on time. I can't make you I can't do any of that. What I can do is get real centered and real connected to my divine inner wisdom and listen to that nudge when God is like, girl, you know better, right? That I can do. So now that you've worked through the connect method and you've gotten to this E, and the E is emotional intelligence, and we've got possibilities, and we're on the balcony, right? The T is about learning how to tap into that divine wisdom so that you can hear what is for your highest and best. How many of you guys, I want you to try this for me just right now, okay? Just try this for me. Close your eyes and just get really centered. And I want you to ask a question that you've been wanting an answer to, right? But I want you to phrase it like this. And this is my question for me. Is it in my highest interest to start a nonprofit to continue doing the advocacy and activism work that I've been doing? And I get a feeling in my body. If you don't know what your feeling is, ask. Ask, say, show me my yes. Show me what yes feels like. If you want to know how your wisdom talks to you, it's called kinesiology. Like there's actually like a scientific word for it, y'all. But your body can give you a little like indicator of your yes and your no. Imagine being able to ask God or ask your inner wisdom a question and your body show you a yes or a no, and you being able to just trust it. Not your brain, not what you think, not your best friend, not your divorced friend, not your pastor friend, not the sidekick, but being able to tap into your inner wisdom and get a yes or a no. And trust what you get and trust the knowing in your gut so that you don't ignore the red flags. Am I making sense? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know the feeling when you get it. Don't you know when you get a yes? And don't you know when you get a no in your body? when everything in you is screaming, nope, 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 right? Or when it whispers, yes, you could do that. We just let our brain get in the way and we don't listen to it. So, part of my coaching method is working with people to refine their yeses and their nos so you can trust your gut. You can trust your wisdom and it have nothing to do with anybody else. Does that make sense? And is that helpful, folks? Let me know. Y'all must be typing because y'all got quiet. It does and it is. Perfect. Arlene, does that make sense for you? Aura, does that make sense? So I want each of you to try it for me. I want you to ask your body, I want you to ask your wisdom to show you your yes and tell me if you can feel what yes feels like for you. Can you feel what no feels like for you? And keep practicing it. When I first started really getting in tune with myself and getting connected to myself, I would say, is it in my highest interest for me to have pizza tonight? And then if I wasn't sure between pizza and Chinese, I'd ask Chinese to pay attention to the feeling in my body if I get a yes or a no. I would ask over the smallest of things just so I could practice hearing my yes and hearing my no. And now I ask it about the big things. And I don't worry about, or at least for the most part, I don't worry about how it's all going to work out. Lisa, that's what happened when I went outside of Holston Valley Medical Center. All I knew was I got a yes to take my tail outside and sit outside that hospital. So that's what I did. Perfect. No is heavy and yes is light. I love it. 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 And so now you can literally tap into that all the time and learn to trust it. You are divinely perfectly made, every single one of us. Have you ever looked at a baby and thought, that baby ain't perfect? That baby's missing something. God, you messed up. No, we never look at babies and think that, do we? That's because we are divinely perfectly made. So tap into that divine perfection. Get your answers. And then you can use the deck, right, as practical application. The deck is how you just write it out and you keep doing exercises that remind you, because you are a human being and you're having a human experience. So you need practical tools for this human body that we're in so that we can walk through life as sure as we can possibly be anyway, knowing that we are doing our best. And every day our best is all we have. Some days our best looks different than others, right? My best today was different than yesterday. Yesterday's best was a great workout. Like I was on top of the world. Today's best has been a little more low key because my body hurts. We've got a severe weather thing coming through. So like my neck hurts, my back, my hips really hurt today. So my best is different today. It's not worse. It's just different. And that's okay. So anyway, this is this is part of the way that I show folks how to coach and how to work through their own stuff. When I work with people, I'm getting something for you guys, so don't go anywhere. But when I work with folks, I do 3 months at a time, and that's it. Because I want you to it's like 3 months, 3 to 6 months, right? I'm getting ready to do some group. Did I say goop? I did. Group coaching programs. I'm going to open up registration and enrollment next week. So I'm going to have just a regular group coaching or group coaching plus my 12-week health and fitness program called Get Your Life. If you want more information about any of those things, here is the link to get on my calendar for a free 30-minute connection session. We will get together, we will connect, we will find out, what you need, what I offer. If you want to get a deck, if you want to get a Connect deck, you can go to my Etsy store, which is Intrinsic Connections, and the decks are available there. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Any questions whatsoever that I could help you with? And was this helpful? Was tonight's session helpful for you guys? Got something in my throat. Quiet. There's always a delay in the comments, so I look like I'm just sitting here. Hey, lady. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lisa. So Kim watched the replay early and says, yes, great. Yay. I'm glad it was helpful. Good. So, I am wrapping up, but so go back and watch the replay and the link is in there. If you want to do a free 30-minute connect session with me, let me know. Right. We'll do, it's just a complimentary session. I can help you work through something. You didn't comment much. You were cooking. No worries. But I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to go over the Connect method one more time. Or if you are interested in the group coaching that's about to launch, or even individual coaching, I'm only going to do 2 more individual coaching clients because it's very time consuming. But I am launching the group coaching on April 1st. So use my link that's there, book a 30-minute with me, and I'm happy to chat and go from there. Yes, you will be able to, Boomer with a bad memory here. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm leaving this up, so you will be able to see it. I may change the privacy settings on Sunday and take it down just because it is part of my coaching stuff. So I don't know if I'm just going to leave it up. This is like, so when I normally do mini coaching sessions, I do them on my Zoom. I'll let people sign up for it, but then I do it on my Zoom. And then people don't get to see it on Facebook a whole lot. And so people don't really know everything that I do. This is the part that I love. It took me a long time to become the person that I am. And I love doing the work. I love helping people shift. I know what it is to experience trauma. I know what it is to feel devastated and broken. I know what it is to feel completely alone. And so for me, if sharing tools and techniques and things that have helped save me impact other people, I mean, that's the thing that brings me like the greatest joy. Believe it or not, I don't like having to go after school systems and dirty politicians and corrupt healthcare systems, but I will. It's just not my love, So watch this again if you need to. Hit me up. Remember that you can get your Connect deck on my Etsy store. It's Intrinsic Connections. I could pop the link in here, couldn't I? I could do that. Hold on. Here we go. Let me pop this in here real quick just so you have it. There we go. I got it. All right. I'm going to pop this in here for you. You're very welcome. There is the link to the Connect deck. So, and I have them here. And so if you order one today or tomorrow, I'll get it shipped out tomorrow. If you order one Sunday or whatever, they won't ship out until Monday. But I have them here and happy to do that. Okay. So I'll see you guys later. You're very welcome, Aura. I'm glad it was helpful for everybody. And I will see you all definitely Tuesday at 8 o'clock, probably before then. And I'll see you whenever you book your 30-minute session. You only got the first 10 minutes. Jessica, I'm going to leave it up so you can watch the replay. I'm going to leave it up so you can watch the replay. Okay. So I appreciate you all very much. I really do. I really do. Like, this is my, Kim, you and I have talked briefly. I love this stuff. I think it's what I think it is. Everything that I'm doing right now, from advocacy work to coaching and the Connect deck, I really truly believe is what I was like created to do, if that makes any sense at all. And that's such a vulnerable thing to say, because I'm like, people are going to think you're just straight ass crazy, girl. But so what? So what? You know, it'll be all right. All right. I'm out of here. You guys have a great Friday evening. Stay warm. I remember shipping yours out, and I appreciate it. I do. Do you like your deck? It's my jam. It's my jam. I love them. So, all right. I will see you all later. Seriously, stay warm. It's going to be cold, right? So make sure you're good to go. Hopefully the bad stuff won't hit anybody too hard. And maybe I'll do another one of these, but I'm glad you do love it so much. So book your 30 minutes with me and let's get connected. Okay. See you guys later. Peace.